quadratic equations with complex solutions. All right? And you can have quadratic equations that have complex numbers for their solutions. All right? Here's a simple example. X squared plus 1 equals 0. Try to solve that. See what you get. All right? Let me show you what I would do. I would move the 1 to the other side. I would take the square root of both sides. Okay, so apparently x is plus or minus I. So there's an example of complex solutions for a quadratic equation. Now, in general, you will need to resort to the quadratic formula. Okay, remember that? So let me reiterate what that is. If you have the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, then the solution will be, so in other words, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. Okay? So write that down because I'm going to use that for 3 examples in this video, and I want you to try it out. Okay? So here we go. Can you solve x squared plus x plus 1 equals 0? Okay? So matching up a, b, and c for this, you should see that a equals b equals c equals 1. Okay? And plugging it into the quadratic formula, you get negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 squared minus 4 times 1 times 1 all over 2 times 1. Go ahead and simplify that. You'll see that that gives minus 1 plus or minus I root 3 over 2. Okay? So now what I'd like you to do is, first of all, make sure you get that, and then let's try another one. Okay, try something with a coefficient other than 1 on the square term. Okay, can you solve this equation? Okay, so once again, use the quadratic formula. Okay, so we know the quadratic formula again applies to ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So go ahead and try that. Pause the video now if you like. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do it now. So for this one, a is 2, b is minus 1, and c is equal to 3. Okay, so plugging into the quadratic formula, you should get x is equal to 1 plus or minus I times the square root of 23 over 4. Okay? Now, for my last example, what I'd like you to do is try to solve this one. Minus 5x squared plus 6x equals 7. Okay? So pause the video and try this one. Okay? All right, I'll go ahead and try to solve it now. So the reason I asked you to do this one is because there was 2 odd things about this one. There's a negative coefficient on the square term, and also there is, the equation is not in the typical form you would expect to use the quadratic formula. Okay? So let's discuss both of those issues. Okay, the fact that it's not in the normal form for the quadratic formula is not a problem because we could put it in the right form. Move the 7 to the other side. Okay, now the fact that there is a negative coefficient on the square term is also not a problem. You can go ahead and you could use a equals minus 5, b equals 6, c equals minus 7 in the quadratic formula I wrote previously, and you'll get the right answer. So don't be bothered by negative numbers. However, if it bothered you, there is a way to get rid of the negative number in front of the square term. Go ahead and multiply through by minus 1. Okay, and again, let me reiterate that this is optional. Okay, this isn't going to change the answer from wrong to right. Okay, so if you did this, you'd have a equals 5, you'd have b equals minus 6, and c equals 7. Okay? Take the red or the blue example, go ahead and work it out if you haven't already. And when you do, you should get the following answer. X equals 3 plus or minus I times the square root of 26 over 5.